Okay, you know what? Let's start. It's early, but let's start. I want to start because I'm excited for this game. Hello. I know I said I was going to do Baldur's Gate 3. And I still am. I have not stopped that playthrough. But the last couple of days I was looking through like my my Steam collection of like games that I have had floating around in my library for a while and just haven't touched. And I came across this game, The Forgotten City. And I was like, okay, I'll check this out. And I got like maybe 20 or 30 minutes into it, and I was like, hold up, I'm going to play this on stream. It's kind of Myst esque, sort of. Um, yeah, you'll see. It looks really neat. I hope it's as neat as it seems. Um, this game has time travel, mysteries, all kinds of shit. Like, the reason why I put spoilers in my little description box there is because it literally says on the menu screen right here, they request that content creators put a spoiler warning. So, yeah, we're going to do that today instead. So let's go ahead and yeah, see, there it is. There's the warning right up here. Dear content creators, as you'll discover, this game is full of intrigue and plot twists. Please give your audience a spoiler warning before sharing content from beyond the White Hallway, so that interested players can fully enjoy the experience for themselves if they wish to. Sincerely, the Modern Storyteller team. And I said to myself, you know what? That's fair. Let's turn this audio down a little bit here. 69. Nice. Take the music down a little bit too. Okay. So as I said, spoiler warning, here there be spoilers. Because that's the nature of the game here, you know? Gonna be spoilers. So let's kick this off. This game was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Your support allows us to continue... Oh, I can't read. The mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation and exploration, not brute force. I was reading that! Present day. So today.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
So there isn't a whole lot of character customization here. You can pick your gender here. I'm non-binary, and that is not an option. But I am more female than male, so we'll roll with that. You can choose your skin tone. I am aggressively pasty. And my name is Della. I mean, it's not my real name, but it's my name. I had a feeling you might be into this one. I had a feeling. By the way, I'm sorry I missed your stream this morning, but unfortunately, you stream at like 5 a.m. my time. I really want to check out one of your streams, but if I'm up at 5 a.m., there's a problem.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
So this is where you pick your background. Let's see. I can be an archaeologist, a soldier, a fugitive, or I got bonked on the skull. I'm gonna play this as true to myself as possible. And, fun fact here, little background about me. I, studied, anthropology and human evolution in college. I did not finish my degree, but Evolutionary anthropology was, in fact, my college major. So I'm going to be an archaeologist, because that's the closest to that. I was searching for ancient ruins.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
So, video game logic here. You've just been pulled out of the river and someone's asking you to go find Al. Do I get, like, a change of clothes or anything? No. Nope, just gotta go find Al. Mind if I ask some questions first?
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
What's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
Mood. You're not even gonna tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
Why don't you want to tell me, weirdo?
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Oh. I have a cousin named Karen, actually. All those Karen memes have really ruined that name, huh?
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems, like finding Al.
Who is Al?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
Yeah, once I find him. Where are we?
You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
Oh, okay. We're in Italy. What can you tell me about the ruins?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
Okay, but who is Al? Have you tried calling for help?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
Isn't this present day? Don't you have a phone? That's all the questions I had. I mean, maybe there's no service out here, I guess. I don't know what cell service is like in rural Italy.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Alright, I'm in.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Okay, so we have a flashlight. It's a flashlight. Quid pro quo. Enter the ruins. Alright, standard WASD walk-in. My scroll wheel has been really wonky of late. I don't know what its problem is, so please bear with me if the flashlight just kind of pops up on its own. Enter the ruins. My dad used to say quid pro quo to me all the time when I was a kid. Probably the first Latin phrase I ever learned. I did not have a normal upbringing. Alright, we'll shift to sprint. But this is a Myst-esque type of game where I'm thinking maybe we don't want to do too much sprinting, you know? Well, it sure is lovely up here. I'm trying to lower my flashlight, but it doesn't want to stay lowered because something's up with my scroll wheel. A backpack full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still it seems strange that Al left it behind. How do we know it's Al's? Does it say Al on it? Oh, Al's note. Okay.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground.
Ooh.
Its existence is long forgotten.
This started
All
life as a
knowledge of it
Skyrim?
lost, except in the Latin inscription
Wow.
here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and
I
be
did not
judged.
know that.
The
That's
virtuous
amazing.
shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain. For this shall be their final resting place."
Oh, creepy.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? The people have survived down there, against the odds. It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this
If I'm not back in
an
an hour.
invitation,
Oh.
or a warning. Al Worth.
So, a long time ago, my friend Kat, we watched a movie called... Oh, shit! It wasn't called All Shit. I just didn't expect to be falling through the water so fast. Anyway, a long time ago, my friend Kat and I watched a movie together called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, which is as ridiculous as it sounds. And, the line that we both remembered from it was Jesus saying, "If I'm not back in an hour, call the Pope." Oh, what a wild movie that was. Anyway, so we just fell through that hole up there. I don't think there's anything to see over there. I want to, like, hit it and see if there's anything in it, but... I would not have been a good archaeologist. I would have been a terrible archaeologist. Graffiti. Meminse semper vigilabant. Vigilabant? I never took Latin. Always remember they're watching. Not at all creepy. Some really horrifying statues. I don't know, who am I? I can't believe this started out as a Skyrim mod. That's so wild. I mean, the hottest Gen Alpha meme started off with Gary's mod, so, you know. Great things from humble beginnings, right? I'm not a big fan of all these life-size sculptures. They're a little, creepy. By taking the archaeologist class, you get an understanding of Latin. Well, that's good, because I can kind of half cobble shit together because I know some French. A Roman gladiator mid-stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? They've all been turned to gold. Oh, there was something in the note about that, like, the wicked will be turned to gold, but it's bad gold, which I assume means they got turned into gold. A young Roman woman. It looks like she was begging for her life. I did get through this part the other day. Before I decided to stop playing this on my own and, like, reserve it for stream. And apparently if I move my mouse too far down, my bar comes up on the bottom, so yeah. Use F5 to quick save and F9 to quick load. Okay. A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. Hang on, let me just... There we go. Full screen, baby. Okay, there we go. Now it'll stop showing you all the crap I have down at the bottom of my screen. A Roman legionary in a state of terror. I'm gonna take a stab here. Just based on what I know happens next, I'm gonna say that these are all characters I will be meeting. A Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. Why am I here? Why are any of us here, really? Isn't that the real mystery of life? Well, great news, we found Al. A golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al, but how is that possible?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse,
GG.
she'll suffer the same fate I did.
Well.
I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles.
Easy game for babies. Game over, I win.
For a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past.
Going to the past!
I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Well, I committed to streaming this game, so I can't do that, Al. Good to know I already won it, though. Found Al. Game over. I win. Forever. Everything else is just epilogue content. A young Roman woman in a state of panic. I appreciate that there's really only one way you can go. I cannot get lost at this point. I mean, I could. Much further to what? A Roman man on his knees as if begging his gods for mercy. Well, time to go in the scary door. Then we get schlorped through the wormhole. And advised to raise and lower our flashlights. Thanks. Step through the doorway into the past. A Roman relief depicting a great circular portal and two women. I wonder who they could be. Aren't I an archaeologist? And look, Broheim's alive now.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Wait, you're speaking English?
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you? And what were you doing in the shrine?
Shrine of Proserpina? I know who that is. I know my Greco-Roman gods and goddesses.
Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you? And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you and what were you doing in that shrine?
I'm Stella, and I've just come from the future. Yes, Australian made. I did catch that because I was thinking, when I was playing it the other day, I was like, everyone's Australian in Rome. Just listening to the accents.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit...
Rome is just Australia.
Not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Listen, buddy. I am not right in the head, but you don't have the right to call me out on that. Seriously, what's today's date?
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
What year?
It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused.
Oh boy.
817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly?
So it's 65 CE. I got that archaeologist insight. I know things.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
I don't know, menacing at all, is it? Your laws?
Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
Alright, lead on, buddy.
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see,
I love that
we've
I
got
can
a
just
nice little
hit E
community
and
now.
follow him. That's fantastic. I don't even have
Only
to do anything.
23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how,
3 who are
since
missing,
nobody
okay.
knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Oh, hello.
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer.
Ooh.
Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Okay, tempting.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
Does
The
it?
bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your
Relatable.
right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the Forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we
I
arrived.
see we still have some of
and what
those
we've been able to
creepy
make
statues.
and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Those statues are
You're meant to
unsettling.
be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me.
Ooh.
Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Sure.
I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
What's this about?
I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Well, at least this is a democracy. Alright, lead the way.
Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be...
Oh,
executed
decimation.
by the end of the night.
Fantastic.
Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One
See,
of us in
decimation.
10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
Alright. I'll talk to you later, indolent woman just laying there.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Seymour Butts. I'm Stella.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning.
I like that
We're
compliment. I'll
always
take
happy
it.
to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
It is pretty cool. It's beautiful. Because it is beautiful.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months.
7 months, huh?
22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights,
You sure about
no
that?
theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
So my husband's a bus driver in a major city, and, no, I have not. Can't say I've seen a city without sin.
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die.
Fantastic.
You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold.
Interesting.
We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid
Interesting.
that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems
have some
that
suspicions.
day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions.
I have many, yes.
Ask away.
So I have some thoughts before we start asking these questions here. I have some thoughts. First of all, I mean, it's obvious when I was in present day, that is what happened. Someone committed a sin and everybody turned to gold and died. However, I've noticed there are other statues here in the past. Does that mean, like, there was a group before us? Is that what that's about? Like, were they all turned to gold? That's a question I have. Also, this is less a question and more me being pedantic, I think. But, how come it's Proserpina, but Athena? Athena's Roman name was Minerva? I'm just saying. That's probably just me being pedantic. But it's a mystery game, so, like, everything counts, you know? Every thought counts. So what does count as sin here?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that,
no
it was
murder?
more difficult to reach a consensus.
Dang it.
What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Okay, I mean... I could tell him that, your laws are considered barbaric when I'm from. But, I mean, like, the saying goes, when in Rome, so, like, I'm not gonna argue with that, you know? Like, okay, fine, makes sense to me. Also, if, like, blasphemy is one of the things that would get you off, that would ruin everything here, like taking the Lord's name in vain or anything like that, or I guess Zeus's name in vain, or Jupiter's name in vain, sorry, my bad. If I'm gonna be pedantic, I gotta be universally pedantic. I would turn this whole city to gold in like 5 minutes. Makes sense to me.
I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would
Can't
be
have that,
keeping a
can
close eye on them if I were you.
What did you mean when you said Proserpina sent me? You weirdo.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
What tipped you off? Was it the flashlight? You're right, I'm from 2,000 years in the future. I wish I had brought some, like, Cool Ranch Doritos to give this ancient Roman man and watch his head explode.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us?
Oh, honey.
Of this city?
Why is it always Cool Ranch people want to bring? Listen, I love Cool Ranch Doritos. They're my favorite. What flavor Dorito would you bring back to ancient Rome? That is the real question we are asking today on this stream. What flavor of Dorito would you bring back to ancient Rome? Never any other kind of chip. It's only ever Cool Ranch. Okay, well, what flavor of chip would you bring back? I just love Cool Ranch. You'd all been turned into golden statues.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions.
Oh, you stumbled,
I
huh?
have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal.
Usually,
In
huh?
this case,
Oh,
the
there it is.
sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I
Huh.
don't suppose you
Light
saw
and
any
tangy
sign
potato
of
chips.
me in the future.
I'm not familiar with light and tangy chips, but they sound pretty good. Trying to think if I know anyone in Australia who can, like, send me some chips. I don't think I do. The only, like, foreign chips I get is when my buddy Danny, Squiggly Elf, comes to visit. She brings me ketchup chips. She's coming in a couple weeks, by the way, and I'm stoked for her, and also stoked for ketchup chips. I did see human remains in the temple. That's right, I did see bones in the temple.
I assume that was me.
Well, I don't know,
If
it
I'm
didn't
forced
have
to
a
perform
fucking
the
name
ritual,
tag
it's
on it.
going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I mean, I'll do my best, but I'm just an idiot from the year 2014.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you investigate?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion.
Why are you having an election if you've only been
shouldn't
here
have that
7
problem,
months?
though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Like, they've only been here 7 months. Why are they having an election? I have a lot of questions, and no answers. Yet. Fair enough. Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's
like pretty
needed
much all I
here
ever
is
do.
a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Okay. Fair enough, honestly. Like, he's right. I don't want to accuse him of being the person responsible because, like, if I'm playing detective, I'm going to start neutral. Start neutral. If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time? I miss Cool Ranch Doritos.
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox.
Oh boy.
If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
I think so? That's all the questions I had. Buddy, that ain't even like a third of the questions I had.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
Alright, I'm in.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents.
Woohoo!
Unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit
I'm
is,
authorized
and
to
as soon as you
snoop.
have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Alright, I'll get started.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
I'll get right on it. This will prioritize the new quest, showing its objective markers only. I'll see what I can do. I don't want to prioritize anything right now. I want to read that. But I'm not authorized to read his shit, I'm sure. Press tab to check quest journal inventory at any time. See the objective markers, click the eye beside it. Okay. Create a time paradox. Dying gasp. Find out what's distressing Lucretia. I've got a denarius. I've got a flashlight. And I've got Al's super depressing suicide note. Fantastic. Well, this is as far as I played the other day before deciding that I really should save this for stream. So, yeah. Let's get started. Let's go investigate ancient Rome. There was a lady down here I wanted to talk to. Hi, ma'am.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here.
Wow,
What
rude.
do you want?
Super rude. What's your story?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Because it's fashion, baby. I'm not from around here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
Oh, okay. Ancient Roman bitch. Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Can I help? I don't think I can help her at all, honestly. I think she needs, like, professional intervention. But can I help?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
Right, the first guy we talked to said that 3 people had gone missing. So, Scintilla is apparently one of the 3. She was seeing someone?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, classic
She
Roman
was very
phrase,
careful
mouth
about
breather.
keeping his identity a secret.
Yeah,
even
right.
from me.
Ah, got a little water. Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually.
Of course.
And even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Of course. Oh, the joys of being a woman in a patriarchal society. Oh, the fucking joy. Your father didn't mention any of this when I spoke to him. Any idea why?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock.
Oof.
He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
No. Is it possible her lover was involved?
I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask a question I actually know the answer to. Sentia, Scintilla, why are all your names so similar? I'm an archaeologist! I should know this!
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market.
Wow, that's
His
depressing.
family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest. And my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla.
See, I knew that. I knew that. You looked surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
Just an observation.
If you must know, I'm here because my father has forbidden me from leaving the villa. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one daughter he can trade off.
I don't don't know enough to decide whether I think she's complicit in the disappearance. She actually looks really sad, though, so... That's all the questions I had.
So you'll help me find her?
Alright, I'll do it.
Oh, thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. I'd appreciate it.
What do you know about the Golden Rule?
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
That's a fair question. She's got a point.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Well, at least we know blasphemy doesn't break the Golden Rule.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
I'm pretty sure I saw your statue, so, you know. I suppose we'll find out sooner or later.
I suppose we will.
Can we talk about Scintilla?
Of course. What have you discovered?
Nothing yet. I'll keep investigating.
Yes,
okay.
please do.
Alright. So, I've been invited to go take a look at Scintilla's room. Ah, stop it, you damn flashlight. Oh, this is the kitchen. Okay. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard that as their servant's problem. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. It's really neat that you can, like, find stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Produce bowl. These carrots are purple, as they were before modern orange carrots were cultivated. That is true. That is true. Orange carrots were actually cultivated by the Dutch, I believe, in honor of, I want to say William of Orange, but it was at least the House of Orange. I'm so excited. This game lets me talk about all the useless shit that I have learned over the years. Like, none of what I know is remotely important. And the Skyrim mod was the work of a Daedric prince and supposed to a Roman god. Interesting. Cynthia's journal. Dear Diary, today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course I shall oblige. The following pages contain my innermost secrets. I knew you were reading this, Father. I may be young, but do not think me stupid. We are all entitled to our secrets. Cynthia. Got some cosmetics jars. Okay, yeah, fair. A brass mirror. Pretty, pretty. This is Cynthia's room, not Scintilla's room, but whatever. I'm snooping in here anyway. I'm not gonna take her money. Ares, Mars, God of War. Okay. Perfume? Standard, hashtag just ancient Roman lady things. Oh, here's the room nearest the door. Okay. Not gonna take her money. Cosmetic jars, mirrors, vials, ink jar. Note from Scintilla. Scintilla, to Sentius and Sentia, may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to have to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape, and I must take it. I hope we meet again someday. I have not played Stray Gods, but it was advertised to me on Facebook, and I remember it looked really good. Yeah, okay, so these statues, like, these people are all here, right? But, like, there's also these creepy statues still. So, like, what the hell? Hey, I found a note from your sister.
What have you discovered?
Is it me? Or did she look a little bit like Karen from the beginning? Is Karen from the beginning her sister? Like, don't answer that question yet, obviously, but like, that's just what popped into my head. Maybe it's just the game engine. I found a letter in her room which mentioned her plan to escape.
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that.
It was literally on her
I
bed.
wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose. But it's odd. It was only a few months ago that Sentilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here. You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
Okay, I can do that. See, look, here's another creepy-ass statue. Another Australian-made game about classical mythology. I mean, hell yeah.
Ah, you've returned. Do you have any news about your investigation?
What's your story?
Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians.
Interesting. What's a decurion?
It's a cavalry officer.
Oh.
I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform.
Why are you still wearing it?
As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent.
He's in his armor. That's fair. I will add Stray Gods to my list of games to maybe play on stream. How did you end up here?
My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now, the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company of some stranger.
Huh.
I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest.
How did you come to be magistrate?
I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead.
Interesting.
Very well.
Alright, I'm gonna get back to it.
I'll be waiting here for news.
I'm sure I can ask him questions later. So in the villa next door, I need to talk to Yulia. Yeah, okay. If everyone here is still alive, why are there still fucked up statues? Why? Like, this clearly isn't the city's first rodeo. Hi?
What were you two talking about?
Sorry, what?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony.
Okay.
If he's making a last-ditch effort to pick up votes by talking to a woman, he's even more senile than I thought. Everyone knows women can't vote.
No! Wow. Wow, ancient Rome sucks.
Uh,
we weren't talking about the election.
What else would you be murmuring about on election day? Mark my words, Malleolus is gonna be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
Listen here, pussy. Take off your mask and say that to my face. I would never challenge this guy to a fight. Mr. Push-Ups over here could kick my ass. Look, I don't want any trouble.
Good. Then stay out of it. Nobody likes Caput Murday foreigners interfering in an election.
He just called me a shithead. This man just called me a shithead in Latin. Fucking jerk. Alright, fine. Mind if I ask some questions?
Can't hurt.
What's your story?
The name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
Why are you dressed like a gladiator?
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
Okay, but you're nowhere near an arena.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunnis.
I think he called me a clown? Look, they're not translating the Latin for me, so I'm just taking stabs based on what I know. I've played Genshin Impact, I'm familiar with the Fatui, and I looked up their origins, which means I'm familiar with the Commedia dell'arte. So I know that's like, I think he just called me stupid or a clown or something. I don't know. Do you know a way out of here?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah? This place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
Okay. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I think it's gone on long enough. And Malleolus is going to put an end to it, once he's elected.
How's he going to do that?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
So bro is campaigning and not saying what his plan is. Does he have a concept of a plan? Is that what this is about? Why can't you tell me now?
'Cause if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans. And we can't have that.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Old man Sentius got you already, did he? Well, I'm not talking to people in his faction. Confatuare.
I think he just told me to get fucked. Makes me think of something not safe for stream. Yeah, same. Sentius et Malleus stercore eodem odor alia. Something overall. Oh, boy was I wrong. Sentius and Malleus, same excrement, different smell. Well, this is the villa next door, so, hey, I'm looking for Yulia. Yulia? You in here? Got anything good I can snoop around with? Equitia's chest. Not gonna take her denarius. A small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. Okay. Now, right back to that asshole. Are these statues talking to me? I think they're talking to me. Stop! I don't need the flashlight. It's well lit enough. Stove, same observations as the last stove. We got a pizza paddle on there. Fantastic. Stop! I don't need the flashlight. I do not know what is wrong with my scroll bar, but it's really annoying and on my list of things to fix. Will it be fixed before the next stream? Absolutely not. Octavia's chest. I don't have my fingers anywhere near the scroll bar, by the way. Stranger. Hi, are you Yulia? Probably not.
A new face. Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess
Oops.
and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
I'm sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessary...
Look, lady, I'm
formal
autistic.
way
Give
to
me
communicate
some
that is.
slack, okay?
So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like.
Thank you.
It'll be a refreshing change.
How did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
It's an older name, but not uncommon where I'm from.
Older? I see.
Karen.
I wonder if... No.
What were you going to say?
I apologize. I
Karen.
don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should.
Interesting.
Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
You're being a bit coy.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting
interesting.
hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed.
She's the one we saw
She withdrew,
rambling.
stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some
pattern.
Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as
Interesting.
Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just...
Oh my god, she
don't
realized
want
we're all
to see
living in a
that happen to you.
simulation!
So be careful, will you?
I'll be careful.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
I'll get right on
Come
it.
back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
I feel like that's an important quest that we should be following. Stop! I don't need the flashlight. Oh, that's terrifying. That is creepy as shit. I don't like that. Is there anything else I can see in here? Oh, yes, I can go upstairs. Stop it! I really need to figure out what's wrong with my damn scroll bar. It is ruining the vibe. Yep, that's Minerva, Athena. Some additional Stella lore for you. I pledged to sorority for all of like 10 minutes before realizing it was a terrible idea. And I don't remember which sorority it was, because again, it was a terrible idea. But I do remember that their patron goddess or whatever was Minerva. I'm not gonna steal things from people. I'm gonna be nice. Besides, stealing things is a sin. Stop. Stop. It's daylight. More statues. Okay, so this is the way we came in. We went into this villa. Let's go up into this one and see if there's
Fresh
anything.
meat, huh?
Yeah, can I talk to you again?
Or Coolio mio.
I'm pretty sure he just told me to kiss his ass. These might be climbable if only they support my weight. Well, I mean, I don't think I can climb anything right now. Alright, that door's locked. Can't get in.
Keep walking.
I'm going! Hello.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
What's your story?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but... family's from Solutia on Tibius. Babylon province.
Ah!
But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads.
So he's Sumerian, basically. Mesopotamian. How did you end up here?
Same way as everyone else.
Okay, that's not helpful. Why are you still wearing your legionary armor?
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Why don't you have a weapon?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
Not much of a talker, are you?
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
What are you dealing with?
None of your business. Introiti I'm coming true.
I don't know what he said. Let's talk about something else.
If we have to.
Do you know a way out of here?
If I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
What do you think of the Golden Rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Oh, I can't blame him for hating that. I know the feeling. I've lived through a pandemic.
Then you know what I'm talking about.
I do, buddy.
All these people
I do. Solidarity.
Just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision.
There it is. The last. Yep.
Like the last lot of people who lived here.
I knew we weren't the
Seems
first.
like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
What do you think is coming?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking?
I mean, they're talking to me, so yes.
They're waiting for something. I don't like it.
I think you're right.
Of course I am.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Anything I can do to change that?
No.
Okay, bye.
Whatever.
What? Ah, yes, the classic Roman dismissal, whatever. Alright, so... I need to talk to more people and try to figure out what's going on here. I don't think you can help me. You're a statue, but thank you. So far, Rufius seems to be the only one with a shred of sense. I don't know where I'm going. Ah, there's Lucretia.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess.
Oh,
I just lost a patient.
Yulia,
and a dear
no.
friend. Yulia. She was a good woman.
Oh, no. What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii."
What?
There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly."
Ancient Big Pharma.
Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule.
Interesting.
Or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. So someone poisoned Yulia, even though sin is verboten here, and supposedly if you sin, everyone dies. Apparently also, fleecing and extorting those in need doesn't count either. There's a lot happening here. Is there something I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out.
I think she just called him a fucking something. I do not suspect Lucretia. I'll see what I can do. What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared.
Interesting.
I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Okay, so we've got two people missing now. Scintilla and Navia are missing. Two women. How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer.
Ugh.
I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right.
Oh, man.
So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned,
the fire.
I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
So far, everyone who ended up here was somehow ended up in the river and was pulled out. Probably by Karen. Whatever she is. I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope your husband is miserable forever. I hope he steps on Legos barefoot for the rest of eternity.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Apollo is also a god of healing, so... fair. Tell me more about Navia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too. until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it.
Interesting.
But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed, and he's in constant pain.
Mood. I am also dealing with inflamed joints and constant pain. Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and
Buff
lashing out.
McAsshole back
and
there?
you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I mean, I kind of assumed that Sentius's house was the palace, but apparently I'm wrong. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit.
That's the merchant.
And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I think I'm going to play this chaotic good style. That does tend to be how I default to most things, but I'm going to stand up for the little guy. Fuck what's-his-face, the merchant. So I keep hearing the statues whispering. Is this normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her.
Nevia.
But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic.
Oh,
She
I
was
already
a
heard
midwife,
her say this.
not a physician. But she
Right,
was
right,
the
right.
close until she suddenly
Right. She
whisked
holed
the
herself up
last,
in the
and then
palace. Right.
she's been gone.
Yep,
But
sorry.
I really would. One of my patients.
Yep, rheumatoid arthritis
He's
guy.
become a
Yep. I'll see what I can do.
Huh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about Yulia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Did you hear her say anything about escaping?
How did you know that? Yes, she did mutter something about the only way out. A few times, but nothing more than that, I'm afraid.
What if the only way out is death? Do you think she was poisoned, or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule.
Yep.
And so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Excuse me. Ugh. I was out running errands all day, and then I came home for like an hour, and then went out to dinner with my husband, and I am still like halfway in a food coma. I'm tired. I'm starting to think that death is the only way out, because remember Al? He hanged himself. Do you know what poisoned her?
Hemlock, I believe.
Classic. Is there any reason she might have wanted to die?
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolus' villa, and they are quite secretive.
She's Malleolus' daughter.
Gladly.
Alright, I'll be going now.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Good woman, Lucretia. Good woman. She has nothing for me to take from her. A collection of barbaric-looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. I would not have to, get... I would
May
not want...
Apollo keep you safe.
I would not want to get sick or injured in ancient Rome. A wooden rack with herbs, okay. Mortar and pestle. Hasn't changed much in the last 2 millennia. No, it hasn't. Hi.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Thank you. Bust of Minerva and various gods and goddesses, blah blah. I don't think there's anything else to see here. Weigh it against the current. Okay. Alright, can't get in there. Hi, who are you? Oh, hey, Galerius.
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend.
I'm doing alright, Mr.
what's
Clean.
in
How
your
are
mind?
you? What's your story?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
I have time.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day,
I believe that's
when I was
London.
about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal,
Oh no.
there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done.
Wow, that is fucked the fuck up.
Still burns whenever I think about it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to.
Ah.
It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river.
And a strange woman dragged you out of the river.
And I started my life over again.
I'm glad things worked out in the end, though apparently people still treat you like shit.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course.
Interesting.
He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting.
Nemesis, god of
He'll get his
revenge.
one day.
Goddess of revenge.
He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Sure.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
See, here's the thing. I could, in theory, tell Sentius I suspected any of these people so far. But who among us, I ask you, who among us has not said, like, I'll kick that guy's ass, or, like, you know, they'll get what's coming to them, in a fit of pique, without actually doing anything? Who among us? Let he without sin cast the first stone. Alright? Yeah. Now, I don't know my Roman timeline very well. This fire that everybody's been talking about, I'm wondering if it's the one, you know, Nero fiddled while Rome burned. I genuinely don't know. Perhaps I'll look that up later. Do you know a way out of here?
Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
What do you think about the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Run for magistrate. Do it. Why not? I'll be going now.
All right. See you around.
All right, I want to go back and talk to Aquitia. Horse lady. I'm sure that is not what her name means. He watches through their eyes. That's, a smidge terrifying. Hello? Where'd you go, ma'am? Ma'am? Hello? No, I don't want that. Where'd she go? Hello? Is she upstairs, maybe? I want to have a conversation with you. Where the hell did she go? Yeah, where is she? Tell her some people mentioned a stranger. But where did she go?
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I wasn't. No, not really.
Good. You'd be eaten alive. Little runt like you.
Eaten? By what?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh. Why do I have to do everything round here?
Hannibal?
So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted.
Shitter's haunted!
Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway...
Is it that Hannibal?
A few days later, he goes back in.
Hannibal of Carthage?
And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body.
Oh.
Sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed.
Okay.
And it was eating Hannibal.
Wouldn't that have broken the golden rule?
If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipalus that feeds on human flesh? I didn't stick around to see which.
Well, that's terrifying. What did you do?
What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
Maybe I'll give it a miss.
Good idea.
At least for now, I sure am. I got something else to do anyway. I'm trying to find Ekiweki. Okay. Where the fuck did she go? She's literally nowhere in this house. Fine, I'll go see if I can hunt her down elsewhere. I mean, there's no law saying she has to stay in her house. It's just, it would sure make my life more convenient. Hey, is that her? Hey, 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 come back. Hey, hey.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
I've been asking people about how they woke up here.
And did you notice anything? A pattern?
Some people mentioned an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes. I also had such an encounter. What else?
That's all I noticed.
There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few.
I mean, they seem to be running from the fire.
We're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
I've got 25 minutes left on stream. Why not?
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married
I know
couple
this story.
living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night.
I know this story. It's a good
being
one.
Vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and
Such a
reveal
good story.
themselves to be Jupiter,
This one
the
makes me
king
so
of the
happy.
gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
I like that story a lot, honestly. It's a good one. Warms my dead little heart. I agree.
I'm pleased to hear it.
What's the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Who's allowed to vote? Not us!
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
The women can't vote, huh?
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such as?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
What's your role in the election?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Vote me! I don't want to start the elections. Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
Okay, bye.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Okay, but will you actually be in your house, or am I gonna have to fucking hunt you down again?
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Oh, are you the shady merchant?
Greetings, I'm Georgius.
Oh no.
It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary.
Thanks.
Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
My nation doesn't exist yet.
Is this a riddle, or perhaps you mean to say you feel like you are ahead of your time?
Bless.
I feel the same way. Another reason for us to stick together. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Why set up a tailor shop here? I mean, people need clothes, but...
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yeah, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I suppose so, actually, yeah.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
Valid. How did you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy.
Sounds like a good time.
Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then Nothing.
I
When
love this
regained
guy.
my
I love
faculties,
him.
I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find
Okay.
firewood for his campfire,
His.
stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Okay, interesting. I saw a woman. Georgius saw a man. Okay.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think...
Let's talk about something else.
Anything you like.
Do you know a way out of here?
Shh! Not so loud! What are you playing at?
Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
The last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Well, I've got 20 minutes on stream, so why don't you tell me?
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse.
Oh.
See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood,
Okay.
one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt, made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago.
Oh.
They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city. And that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place. And so I say, it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Got it. Thanks. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one.
She punished everyone.
Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case.
Interesting.
The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
So do unto others as you would have done to you, so the literal modern interpretation of the Golden Rule? Okay, valid. Easier said than done.
Regrettably, I think you are correct, my friend. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
It's true. I know. I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing. Do they not?
I love Georgius so much. He's my favorite so far. I love this guy. Who are you gonna vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
That's voter intimidation. Is there anything you can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
I'll be going. Goodbye.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Bye. Yeah, look at that. He's literally got the statue modeling the outfit there. That's amazing. Gonna pop into your house and your little tailoring shop and see if there's anything for me to see in here. Doesn't look it. Looks like he's got a nice little setup. Stop. I'm not gonna steal other people's money because theft is wrong. Imagine you have this in your shop. Like, you just go to work every day and you have to see this. God, that's fucked up. I'd quit, personally. Who listens? With what ears? Let's see, there's the temple. What's in here? A circular loaf of bread designed to be made into wedges. It appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. I'm only going to take 2. I will not take more than that. Greed is a sin. A stone mill. It looks like flour and grain are poured in from above. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's how mills work. A Roman recipe for bread. A generous pinch of yeast. A pinch of salt. 2.5 cups warm water. Ah, yes, cups. The ancient Roman measurement of cups. Pound of flour. Pour the water in a mixer bowl and dissolve the yeast. Anyway, if anyone wants to screenshot this, here's a recipe for ancient Roman bread. If I had a stand mixer, I would honestly attempt to make it and report back next stream. However, I do not have a stand mixer, and I am not beating that shit by hand. On the back, it's just the same thing backwards. Okay. But hey, cool. Ancient Roman bread recipes. Didn't expect to find that in this game. This game is clearly a labor of love. Like, by nerds for nerds. Hi. A shopping list. Things to buy once I've escaped. Villa on the Aventine, Rome. 2-horse chariot. Seat in the Senate. 4-horse chariot. Villa on the Bay of Naples. 10-horse chariot. 12 slave girls, pale and plump. Oh, this guy can eat a dick. I don't like him. What does that even mean? Statues, why are you all so damn cryptic? Alright, so this is the shop of the guy who refused to sell Lucretia the medicine. But he doesn't appear to be in at the moment, so... Dooley's note. I did not do it. Dooley. Who is Dooley? Interesting. Oh.
Hello? Hello?
This must be Dooley. And judging from that handwriting, he's either illiterate or slow or both. What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
Oh dear. What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
I think, this guy probably has the mentality of a child. Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that all?
They said I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names.
Oh no.
They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now. And gave me this letter. But
oh dear.
I'm not good with words. Do You think you could read it for me?
Sure thing. I'm good with words. Magistrate Sentius to Dulius. I am writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, okay, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off-limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated should you experience further lapses in memory. There is no next page. Okay.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule.
My treasure.
What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure.
Interesting.
But I couldn't find him. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Then maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Like Galerius? He's nice.
Galerius?
I like Galerius. He made me
Okay,
a doll.
there's a choice.
Everything. If you help make him magistrate,
I had a feeling that was coming when he said
he
he'd make a
can
better
get me out of
magister.
here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know of a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
That's not what I said. I asked if you know a way out of here.
Oh. Please. I hate it here. It makes me very sad.
Never mind. What do you think about the golden rule?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to...
Oh, we already heard all this. Yeah, go in the cisterns. Give you the key, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, I've already been through here.
Right, if you... Hannibal...
What I can do, okay. Alright, bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, Dooley, I'll see what I can do for you. Hello? Anyone in here? Thought I saw something I could look at. Accusatory note! Virgil, do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? It is in caps lock, so you know this person's damn serious. Alright. Yeah, Virgil. Tell Sentius you suspect Malleolus? But I don't really... I don't know anyone! I don't know who's done it yet. Alright, this is the tailor shop. I was already in here. Oh!
Help! You have to do something.
Hello?
A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something,
Uh-oh.
or he's gonna break the golden rule.
How? I don't have a weapon.
None of us do.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay. Fuck, 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 fuck! What did I do? I don't know what I did! What did I do? Was that supposed to happen? Looper. Loop through time once. Oh. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I'm just going through time repeatedly. Hi, Galerius.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
Hi.
Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Interesting. Okay. I'm Stella, and we've had this conversation.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer me to take me to see Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I gotta go.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
What is it? A zipline handlebar. Okay.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's
Interesting.
completely safe. Probably.
Thanks, I'll be going now.
Alright, see you around.
What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Oh, okay. I'm gonna save the game real quick before we go any further. It seems like I only have until a certain time to get there, maybe? Okay, how do I use this zip line? I want to use it, I just don't know how. Okay. How do I get on the zip line, yo? Oh, zip line. E, ride. Woohoo! Yeah! Neat. Okay, now we can ride a zip line. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let me see here. Interesting. I can do things differently today, I bet.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us?
I need to speak with Yulia.
She's not here.
Where is she?
Had to carry her to Lucretia's clinic this morning. Shrine of Apollo. She was acting sick. Faking it, if you ask me. Typical.
I'd like to meet Malleolus.
Too bad. He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it.
Afford what?
I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him,
oh boy,
I'll need something valuable in return.
What do you want? Oh, isn't soliciting bribes a sin?
Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron.
Alright, what do you want?
Dunno. Something good.
I'll see what I can do.
Just make it good.
I'll be going, bye.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
So it seems like what we need to do here is we need to break the cycle. That is what we need to do. We need to break the cycle. There is a continuous cycle going, and we need to be the ones to break it somehow. Because if I'm getting the feeling that if we don't act by a certain time at night, because it's nighttime, something bad happens. A sin is committed, and we have to run like hell back to the shrine and start all over again. But with each time loop, I suspect we will know more. So, with that in mind, this looks like about time to stop, and a good time to stop. Did not expect the time loop aspect of this. Wow. Okay. I love a good time loop story, so this game has me absolutely hooked. I know I said Baldur's Gate 3. I know I said Astarion Run. Well, we're gonna play this first, okay? We're gonna do this first. Because, wow. This is good shit. Yeah, I'll be back on Friday with more of the Forgotten City. Yeah, if you would like to hang out in my Discord, see when I go live, all that good stuff, there you go. There is the link. You can join me there. The only thing I ask is if you have pets, I wish to see pictures of them. But yeah, that is all for tonight. I'm going to go chew on this mystery for a little while. And I will see you guys again on Friday. Good night.